just talked about it. This is, although it's all formal with the cameras and all that stuff, we want y'all to relax. And what we're gonna do first is throw out a test question, okay? So just kind of get us going, get the momentum going, okay? It probably start out slow again, just a reminder, don't feel uncomfortable if it does. If we sometimes allow silence to be in the room, that's part of the process, okay? What we want you all to do is just kind of think through, and more from an emotional perspective, we want you to kind of feel your emotions as we ask these questions. Anything that strike a chord, go ahead and let it go, okay? Is that cool? All right, so we're gonna start out with a test question, okay? First question would be, where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Owning my own business.
Owning your own business? Could you expand on that a little bit?
Well, of course I want to go to college, and what I want to do takes 4 years, and then it takes another 4 years. So after that, I think when I get myself together and graduate, then I can, start progressing on my own company.
Okay. What kind of company?
Well, I like to design clothes, so I'm trying to go into that type of field right there, designing and art and all that good stuff.
Okay.
So.
I graduated with my GED. Going to a 2-year. After my 2 year, I want to follow up with a 4-year to earn my bachelor's degree, then open my own business and become a child care developer.
Excellent.
I love kids. Can't stand them, but I love them. Come on. I'm serious.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I see myself being a doctor because I want to be an OBGYN, and it takes about 8 to 9 years. And right now I'm taking an EMT class, and I'll be done with that in June. So.
Excellent.
Well, I see myself as 5 years from now? 10 years from now. Yeah, I see myself as having my license to be a private investigator or a spy. So from the extra 5 years, hopefully I can open up my own business and have my own company.
After I get my GED, I would like to go to college to become a CNA nurse.
I'm gonna interject something real quick before first of all, y'all did a really good job with the first question. We didn't have to probe much. There could have been some additional probing, but you saw how we probed. Like I asked you, to elaborate a little bit on what that business was. This is pretty much how the format is gonna go. You all did a wonderful job in terms of the organization, filtering through, Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I got it. Trust me, because that was one of the things I was gonna say is we had someone not to respond, we would have pulled you into the question. Okay, so just to let you all know that was the format. Something else is critically important about this process. You'll see Barksdale and I maybe nodding sometimes, but we're not gonna affirm anything that you say. That doesn't mean that we don't agree with what you say. That don't mean that we're not excited inside to hear y'all saying all these businesses and everything that you all are trying to do. We're definitely excited inside, but we don't want to invoke what your response is going to be. In other words, we want it to be real and coming directly from you.
Is there any right or wrong answer?
There's no right or wrong answer.
No right or wrong answer.
Nothing. No right or wrong answer. You can say what you feel. Okay. This moment is about you. Okay. So if you don't see us affirming you, saying like, "Oh, wow, that's great," it's not because we're not feeling that. Because just in that one question, I was like, "Oh, get them, girls."
Yeah.
For real, for real. But just because I don't say that, don't mean that's not how we're feeling. Okay. Good job on the first question. All right. We're gonna go ahead on and get started. This is the real stuff. Okay. Next question is, what was your experience like in public school?
I felt like, it could have been better. My thing is nowadays it's something called the curriculum, and I don't understand it because the whole process you're not teaching us. You're just giving us work and expecting us to do it on our own without taking time out, explaining it, going over it. And then when we ask y'all, it's like, okay, you being rude, or can you wait? But I've been waiting. Can you just do your job?
you gotta do the work the way they want it done. But what they don't understand is everybody can't do the work they have. You know how they have, like, say for instance, math. Math is a long process. And I had this one teacher, he knew how to do it one way, so all the students had to learn how to do it that way. And it's like, you can do it different ways. You know what I'm saying? It was just complicated.
Well, they don't take the time out to actually sit down and teach you easier ways for the people that really don't understand the harder way to do it. So yeah, it do be kind of hard to sit in a classroom and sit there and know you don't know how to do something and know you're going to fail it because he ain't or she's not going to take the time to show you how to do it.
My experience was that if I didn't understand the material and if they saw that it was going to take me a long time, they wouldn't even bother teaching it to me.
What did you like about public school?
My friends.
It was a party.
You have some teachers that actually took their time to teach you, you know what I'm saying, that love their job, not just there for their paycheck. Like, that's my opinion. Like, if you love your job the way you say you love your job, sit down, take out time. And that's what I like. I had some teachers, I still have a teacher that takes out their time, but it could be easier. It was okay.
Students, can you tell, go back to 9th grade year, your freshman year in high school. How long does it take for you to determine if a teacher cares about your growth and development?
The first day. The first week of my 9th grade year, they already determined we were the worst 9th graders ever. And they already said, okay, you're not going to come to class because we know this person and that person. Basically, they didn't care, or they would try to suspend you so you wouldn't be there that next half of the week. It was crazy. But it was like, out of the whole school, it was only 2 teachers that actually cared. But one of the teachers, he ended up getting locked up for statutory rape. So we was like, wow, you know.
Someone said something a few minutes ago about what did you like about public school, and I think you said friends, and you said it was somebody says a party. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Could you elaborate a little bit on about the friendship part? What about your friends that made it good? And then we're going to swing to you and tell me what about the party and what do you consider party within the school?
I had some friends that made sure I came to school, and some friends that made sure I went to class on time. But like it's everybody had their own choice to do what they want to do. So with me saying friends is like I had them. They helped me when I needed help, and it's like the teachers would get mad if I asked my friends instead of asking them. But like I told them, well, if you was helping me, I wouldn't be asking a student to help me. So my friends is actually people that made sure I got to school and did my work and all that, other stuff. And so your friends can, be good. Some of them, they can be bad. But I think my friends was pretty good help my 9th grade year.
Okay. What about, you said party. Elaborate on that. Explain that just a little
It
bit.
sounds crazy.
No, right or wrong. Remember? No right or wrong.
Well, like I said, when the first week they had already determined who was going to stay, who was going to be out. But I feel like high school is what makes you. Your 9th grade year is like your foundation. And like how many times have you watched TV and the girls in the bathroom smoking? When I got to high school, I did not know they was going to be really doing stuff like that. Or just getting down in the gym, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, nobody had to come to class. If you came to class, you could talk on the phone, text, whatever, depending on the teacher. It was just, you can do whatever you wanted to do. My 9th grade year, I probably went to school a whole 3 months out of the whole year and passed. That's crazy.
What did you dislike most about public school? Elaborate?
Well, actually, they didn't even let me get into a regular high school. As soon as my 9th grade year came, I got sent to an alternative school. But the teachers there, it was some teachers. I'm not going to say all teachers, but it was like, she not going to do her work. She here for a reason. So I already know how she's gonna be when she step foot in the school and stuff like that. Talking down on a student, I'm sitting here like, you don't give me a chance to show you what I can do. You just look at me and predict, oh, she's not gonna do this. And like she said, they predict before they actually get to know you. And I think that's wrong, because sometimes some students can have a good heart and some students can have a bad heart, and they look at the students with the bad heart and be like, oh, she's gonna do this and do that, and they end up, doing opposite. And then the kids with the good heart be like, well, she ain't gonna show me no recognition anyway, so what's the point of, showing her that I can do it, or that I have the effort to try to do it. So like the teachers, they talk down, and then when they see that you can do something, that's when they want to, oh, she's a good student, or yeah, she did this and she's making good grades. But at first I was that student that, oh, she's not going to come to class, or she's going to be skipping school and all that. But now that you see that I can do it, you want to show that you try to act like you had part in what I did and you don't have nothing to do with it. So they try to take when they see that you do good, they try to put it like they did it, or I helped her do this and I helped her do that, so now she's doing this and now she's doing that, but you really ain't doing anything.
I heard something over here. Could you elaborate? I heard you talking under your breath about what you disliked about your high school experience, and do you have a similar experience?
Yes, I got sent to an alternative school soon as my 9th grade year for nothing. Never had the chance to experience high school because I was always at an alternative school that let out at 4 o'clock. That's what I disliked. It just let out too late. Class was just boring. Teachers was boring. Whole school was boring.
Can you explain for us a little bit more about? Could you be specific about why you were sent to the alternative school in 9th grade? What can you remember? What month that was? Are we talking about September? Are we talking about November?
I don't know which month, but to be for real, I think I got sent to an alternative school just simply because my last name. The boys in our family then got us a bad reputation. And I think that's what got me sent to alternative school, because I got into it with a boy in the cafeteria and I pushed him. Next week, I'm at an alternative school like, okay, come on now. First chance, first time getting in trouble, and I'm getting sent to alternative school. I just thought it was bogus. And it was
like the school I went to, they had a test scoring problem. We were like basically named the dumb school. But I don't know. But anyways, like torch testing time, everybody would disappear. You would go to an alternative school if you was pregnant, if you skipped too many times, if you had a nasty attitude, if teacher didn't just like you, the stuff that you wear, the clothes, everything. So I can see where she's coming from, because it was just like a ridiculous. And I heard like the principal say one time, yeah, you gonna make my test scores look real good with you gone, which is kind of like true, but they didn't do no better at the end of the year.
Would you say or not say? Talk to us about your treatment from the adults in the school. Did that impact your performance in your academic classes? And if so, how did it impact how you were treated by the adults in your school, in high school?
I think it did have an impact. And to me, like, my problem is I just talk too much. I'm just being real, like, but if I feel like if you're teaching me something and then I'm telling you you're wrong, if I look it up and then you're actually wrong, and then you get mad about it, like, I don't like that. I don't like attitudes. Like, if you're wrong, like you tell us, admit that you're wrong. Like, a student can tell you that you're wrong. And my problem in high school was my 9th grade. I didn't like that. And it had a negative effect on me. Like, then I came to school with attitudes, didn't want to do nothing, didn't care. Like, you cuss at me, I cuss at you. You didn't cuss, I still cuss. Like, I was nasty, like, but it's just all in the due process. Like, if you treat me with respect, I give you respect. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. if you could just take out time and we both sit down and talk about it, then it could be okay the next day. I wouldn't have to be sent to an alternative school, or I wouldn't have to have an attitude with you or being disrespectful. That's just the way I see it.
Somebody else.
Yeah, that's an important question.
How you were treated by the adults in your high school, did that impact your academic performance?
Yes, because you felt like if they treated you disrespectfully, then you ain't gonna want to go to them and ask them for anything because you already know the response that they're gonna give you. There's always gonna be a negative response. Like she said, sit down and wait until I'm ready to help you. That's when I will help you. That's normally what they'll say. And I'm like, okay, so I'm telling you I don't know how to do it, but you still want me to sit here and wait on you, and then I see that you're helping other students. So, and then it was like, well, if you showed me more respect, well, like she said, you gotta give respect to give it, and that's all what I always told them. And like I told them, I had a child of my own, and I'm not gonna sit here and watch my child go to a school and be disrespected by a teacher all because it's an adult. But most of them teachers at a high school is normally almost the same age or around the same age or have kids the same age as you. And I'm sitting here like, well, do you want somebody to treat your kids like this? If they don't understand something, you want them to help them. So why are you sitting here and acting like you don't have no type of time to help somebody, but you're just sitting there not doing anything? So yes, it has an impact because once you go in there not knowing, you still leave there not knowing anything. And I think that's real. Yeah.
I would say yes and no. Because I have a lot of teachers. But, I mean, I feel like it's a 50-50. That's my opinion. Okay, if you're a bad teacher, does that mean I have to be a bad student? No, but if I want to learn something, do I just tell you a couple times, or do I just, oh, well, she don't care? But I had one teacher, he changed my whole attitude. Like, he was just crazy. Like, if he had a line, he had the class divided, literally. And like, it was this one dude, he would do stupid stuff to the teacher. And for some odd reason, he would blame it on my line. And it's like, what do this got to do with anything? Like, one day, his coffee was missing. So he didn't want to teach the class. He did not teach the class at all. And I'm like, what kind of person? Like, you supposed to be an adult, but you wonder why the students don't respect you. He just did ridiculous stuff, or he'll give us like a whole book of homework, and we don't know what's going on, you know? So eventually his class just shifted. It went downhill. Nobody passed or anything. He ended up getting fired. It was just crazy.
Who owns your learning in high school?
Me?
Yourself.
So
Who owns it? Who's responsible
Me.
for your learning, the student learning? Can you elaborate on that comment? I heard some of you say yourself.
Yeah, explain what you mean by yourself.
I mean, it's all up to you. If you feel like you have your attitude, you set your ways aside. It's up to you if you want to get an education. It's up to you if you want to learn. It's up to you if you want to keep your mouth closed and do your work. I mean, it's up to you if you want to come to school. It's all within yourself. It's your mind, your attitude. It determines your education. Like, we didn't like high school, but now we're back at somewhere else getting our GED. It's all a due process. Your mind, you got to have the willpower.
I'm gonna kind of switch gears real quick. How many people have ever had a favorite teacher throughout your time in school? Most people have had a favorite teacher. Okay. How many have had the worst teacher that they've ever had in school? Probably multiple, right? Okay. What we're gonna do is I want to go around the room and tell me who were you don't have to name names. You can if you want to. It don't really matter. But tell me. Who was your favorite teacher, what grade it was, and then tell me what was good about that person, okay? And you can go in any order you want to, but I want everybody to tell me about their favorite teacher.
Is it the favorite teacher?
The favorite
the
teacher.
good?
Just tell me about the good teacher.
Okay.
Well, my favorite teacher was Miss Alexander, which is at Henderson Alternative School. But she actually took her time. I wasn't even in her class. But if I needed help or I needed to stay after school and study, she'll let me come in her classroom and she'll sit down and do the steps. You know, this is an easier way to do it. Or if you need more help, you know, come and I sit after school with you and I take you home, make sure, you know, you have everything that you need. And when it was time to test, she'll make sure I had all my little notes and my booklets that we did. And I like that because I never had it in a regular high school. And it took me to go to an alternative school to actually get what I actually needed from a teacher. So that's why she's my favorite teacher.
My favorite teacher was Mr. Dexter. He worked at Henderson. I had him for almost 2 years, and he was a math teacher. And he tried to break stuff down that I didn't usually understand from regular high school. And I just got used to some of the math over there easier than I did at regular school.
My favorite teacher would be Mr. Rivers. Cause like, he stayed on me constantly. Like if I did something wrong, I don't care if I looked at him the wrong way. It's Miss Kite, Miss Precious, you know what I'm saying? Then eventually you get tired of it, so you just do, you already know not to tick him off or not to have him fuss at you. So you just come in, do what you gotta do, and so you can get out of this classroom. And it was just, it changed who I was, like, cause I done came a long way.
Well, my favorite teacher was this lady, Miss Austin. I was in the 3rd grade in Chicago. And she basically just had a whole lot of patience with me because in Chicago, you know how elementary you do the Pledge of Allegiance? They did theirs in French. So I was totally new to that, and she just had a lot of patience with me.
My favorite teacher would be Miss Brandon and Mr. Sharp, because I took math like one time before her class, and it's like, what, you know? But she let us, it was like little stages that we went through with her, and she broke it down. If you didn't get it and the way she taught it to you, then she'll let somebody in your class teach it to you. And we basically worked together and we gave her feedback. And Mr. Sharp, he was my favorite teacher because I actually took, English backwards. I started out with like 3, and I had to, like, after my last year there, I had to take English 1. And he was my favorite teacher because it was like the little simple stuff that you would think you would get. And I'm like, what? You know? But he let us do like a lot of hands-on and board work and stuff like that.
And my favorite teacher was Miss Dixon Neely at Henderson Independent High School. She was my favorite teacher simply because I feel like she was the only teacher that was actually on me, actually teaching me stuff. She stayed on me. I could go talk to her about anything, personal problems, just anything. She was always there to push me. So that's why she's my favorite teacher.
Okay. We're going to do this thing in reverse now. Mm-hmm. Tell me about your bad teacher. Tell me. You can, again, you can call people out if you want to. You can say the name. You know, if not, that's fine. But tell me who it was and why.
My bad teacher was Mr. Withers at Henderson Independent High School because I felt like he was so phony because he could be in your face like he just your best friend, and then when you do something, oh, you wrote up on the sneak tip, and then you be like, where did I get this from? And you find out it come from the teacher, like, okay, why you just couldn't put me to the side? He was just fake, I think, phony. He act like he your friend, and then, I don't know.
My West teacher, it was and is Mr. Murphy. Like, he was so bad. Like, he would come to his class every day with spitballs everywhere. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, nobody liked him. People that didn't even have his class. It was just so nasty and bad up there, you know? Like, no matter what happened, I guess because me and him had already, I guess we decided we was going to be on bad terms. And it's like, I don't care for you, you don't care for me. And, like, I was like, I ain't do it, you know? Like, somebody actually spit in his coffee one day, and I told him. You know, he took me to the office. I'm like, what is going on? Like, that wasn't even me. He was like the worst teacher ever. He would leave and get on his motorcycle, be sitting outside, supposed to be teaching the class, and I don't know. He'll jump out the window. It was just crazy.
Well, my worst teacher was a substitute teacher, and she just swears she was right. I can't remember what was the exercise, but she ended up marking like my whole paper wrong. But it ended up turning out, we went to the principal and my paper was 80. She ended up giving me an F, but yeah, it was a substitute teacher.
Well, my worst teacher was a math teacher at Salisbury High my sophomore year. It was like, he already knew that I had an attitude, so he was going to sit there and find everything that I did wrong. So as soon as I walked in the classroom, I have a McDonald's bag. You know, you ain't supposed to eat in class. I'm like, well, it's not open. So why are you telling me I'm not supposed to be eating in class if it's not open or if I'm not eating anything? Or if I did have something in my mouth coming into his classroom from another class, he wouldn't even say, well, Elise Brown, throw that out. He'd be like, well, I'm going to call your dad and tell him that you're eating in class. I'm like, okay, if you would have gave me time to get in here and throw it away, then it wouldn't be in my mouth. Or you're not going to do the work, so go sit in the hallway. So every time in his class I was in the hallway or I was in the office or I was going home because I was disrespectful. And I didn't find myself being disrespectful if you ain't give me time to come to the classroom and show you how I really acted. So when I do come in his class, I go to sleep. If I'm asleep, I can't do nothing. Or if he come over there, he'll bam on my desk. I was like, go sit in the hallway. So I'm like, okay, you're going to be the teacher that I don't like, and that's why I do not like him.
My worst teacher was Mr. Murphy, who worked at North Rowan High. I never did anything to him, but he was always suspending me from school for up to 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time, until that finally he decided that I need to go to Henderson Independent High School.
My worst teacher would be Miss McKnight from North. Like, she was right about everything. I don't care if it was the light, the last person out. She knew, but she was at the front of the line. Like, it don't matter what. She just fussed constantly all day long. And her breath was funky and being people's face, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's what ticked me off with it. That's why I do not like her. I can't stand it. Like, she's the worst teacher. And she wouldn't even teach you nothing. She'd be hollering, spitting everywhere.
Okay. Did your relationship with your teachers, do you all felt it affected you all emotionally, how you felt about yourself? Your relationship with your teacher?
Yes, because I always felt like I always did something to them. And knowing that I didn't do anything, that made me feel like, okay, I'm feeling bad towards myself, but I know I didn't do nothing. And it made me feel like, well, when I try to, go out there and actually do good, people going to look at me and then say, oh, she has attitude, so I already know she's not going to be able to do this or she's not going to be able to do that. And it made me feel bad because I knew that I could do it. And having it set in my head that they done told me I couldn't do it made me feel like I had real low self-esteem about what I could and couldn't do.
I feel like it did have an effect on you because after somebody keep putting you down for so long, your mind frame goes, oh, I really can't do this. Versus you can't do this. Like, she'd tell me, oh, you can't do this problem. I can't do this problem. And I would come to school saying, oh, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. I don't want to do this. Like, but all you had to do is give me positive feedback, and then maybe I would have been a positive person. So, yeah, it did kind of affect me emotionally. Kind of hurt sometimes.
No, I don't think it did because it just didn't. I was just me. You know what I'm saying? If we was going to adjust to each other or I wasn't going to be there, that's how it was going to be, But at the end of the day, if I ain't know how to do a math problem, oh, well, I ain't stupid because at the time, I was just mean like that. Now, if it would have happened now, yeah, maybe it would have got to me. But, no.
Can anyone recall or reflect on for us, when your emotions got the best of you in a classroom? Tell us what exactly happened. What did you do? What did the teacher do? Just explain to us the scenario.
Well, I wasn't feeling good one day, but my mama told me that I had to go to school anyway. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. When I got in the classroom, I told the teacher, I said, look, I don't feel good, but my mama made me come to school. He was like, well, go to the office and call her. I'm like, if she made me come to school, she's not gonna come pick me up. And then he was like, well, just sit there then. So I sat there, you know, I did the little worksheets he passed out, and then I went to sleep. And then he gonna come over there and start shaking my desk. So I got up and I cussed him out, and I told him I didn't need him or his class, and he could take his work and shove it where the sun don't shine. So I got suspended, and that really made me mad. So I started crying because I was real mad. And then he goes, see, what I do to you do hurt your feelings. And I'm just looking at him like, you already got cussed out one time, don't get cussed out again. And then I went home and told mama, and she did what she had to do. So they took me out of his class, but every time I seen him, I said something to him, just because, you know, that's how upset he made me.
I'll never forget. I was at North Rowan Middle School, and my teacher, Miss McKnight, we was in the library, and we were in line to check out books, and I was like the third person, and my shoe wasn't untied. You know, she came up there, she was like, "You need to untie your shoe," and it was my turn, y'all. Like, so I get to the desk, and she's checking out my book. She was like, "Hold on, she can't check out her book," and I was like, "Why?" She was like, "You need to get down and tie your shoe." So I was like, I'll do it later. She snatched me out of line and threw me in the, you know how the libraries had a big comfortable chair? She threw me in one of them chairs. When I said we was fighting, I just swung off, like, because she made me angry. She had it out for me. Like, why would you pull me out of line just for a shoe? It's not your shoe, it's my shoe. And we was fighting. Then for 2 years, I got sent to Scale. And my 9th grade year, they sent me to Henderson. I didn't even get a chance to see the light of the high school, normal high school.
So you're telling me, if I'm hearing you correctly, you fought the teacher?
Yeah, she fought back.
And you two were in a physical
Fist fight in the library of North Rowan High School, middle school.
What was?
I feel like I didn't put my hands on you. I didn't disrespect you. I said, okay. Even though I didn't like you, I was like, okay, I'll get it when I finish. Like, it was my turn. You pulled me. It was long. Like, North Rowan Middle is just packed. Too many kids. You pulled me all the way out of line to the back of the line, and then slung me into a chair. You have no right to put your hands on me, so I felt like if you put your hands on me, you wanted to fight. So I hit her.
Just curious for our discussion. What happened? Do you know if anything happened to that teacher? Was she reprimanded? Was she put on probation?
Me to Scale, and I went to Scale for 2 years. Nothing happened to her. Like, my thing is they had a buddy system. No matter what, if they say you did it, everybody in the school know you did it.
They had a what system?
Buddy system. Yeah. One teacher writes you up, oh, you gone. It don't even matter if you did it or not.
You agree with that?
High school is like prison. What happened in high school?
Stays in high school.
No, it just happened. Like, whatever happened in that class, it's like the teacher word against 20, 30 other students. It don't matter if all the students tell the whole school, you know, they right. And then, like, you know how you have a favorite teacher or a teacher's pet? I think the principals have favorite teachers too, because those teachers be the worst teachers. Like, it's just crazy. Like, one time in high school, the principal didn't believe anything that we said until one day he was listening to our whole class period on the intercom. Like, it was crazy. The stuff that happened in that class was, like, disgusting. Like, people used to, it was just nasty. And, you know, you're thinking about the teacher, she would call somebody or somebody would come and get it, you know. Oh, no, she'll start talking about it. And I'm like, come on.
What kinds of things would teachers do that let you know or indicated that they cared about you? What kind of things in school did you ever notice that teachers did that let you know when you walked away from that teacher or that event or that moment, you said, wow, she really or he really cares about me?
Patience.
Can you elaborate a little bit? Kind of explain when you say patience.
If somebody take time out their day or just time away from everybody to deal with you, then that means they care. It's more than a job to them, and that's the difference. I think that they need more teachers they say teachers don't get paid enough anyway. But there is a lot of teachers that will sit aside and deal with you separately than embarrassing you in front of the class, you know? Because I feel like if you don't know something that a teacher do that, you like, wow, I respect her. I'm not going to do this to her, but you might do it to the teacher down the hall because he don't care.
Like, let's just say I was doing work yesterday and I didn't get certain things, like I got them wrong. She gave me worksheets and you got certain ones wrong. She would take out time to print you off worksheets and stay after school with you, even if you don't answer. She'd be like, well, I didn't see you after class, and the next thing you know, you're staying. She's going over things which she's actually teaching you. Like, she didn't have time in her curriculum class, but now you have time at the end of the day. I think that showed me, like, you care that if I get an education or not. You care if I succeed.
Or if you have a problem at home and a teacher can sense that something's going on and she takes you out in the hallway and be like, well, if you need to go back home, I bring you some work over later and I help you do it, and I hope everything goes well when you get there. If she has the emotions and the time even if she has kids of her own and she knows she got to go pick them up, but she still comes to your house and drop you off work and teaches you how to do it, then that shows that she actually cares, and actually loves to do what she does for a lifetime.
What other things might have happened to some of our more quiet participants that might have happened that showed? Because everybody at some point feel like someone cares about you. At some point, anything that you felt during the process, during your education process in public school, that made you feel like?
Well, Miss Dixon Neely, of course, at Henderson Independent. Of course, I was on probation for whatever reason, and I didn't have the money to pay it, so they was gonna violate me. She really took her $200 and paid my probation and told me I didn't have to pay it back. So I knew she cared, but that's the only teacher that I feel like actually cared about me and my problems.
That's a good place to start. A teacher that you felt was a good teacher. What are some of those things that, for my other two that hadn't responded yet? I mean, the good teacher that you said you liked, what were some of the things that they did that let you know that they cared?
Just patience. She knew that I wasn't from Chicago and it's different up there. And she just took a whole lot of time teaching me the French Pledge of Allegiance. And
Mr. Dexter was just really patient with me as well. He took out time out of his day whenever no one else was working in his class and everything like that. He would help me learn different ways how to do some of my math, and he was just very nice to me all the time.
What about the opposite end? What do they do, what the teachers do to indicate to you that they don't care? And it could be your worst teacher, it could be any teacher, it could have just been an event that you were a part of, experience that you were a part of. What were some of the things that showed or indicated in school that adults or teachers didn't care?
When I got kicked out because I didn't give her my cell phone, they literally just said, well, if you can't follow the rules, then you out of here. And I got kicked out. I was just getting there not too long ago, and somebody was calling me about my daughter. So I answered the phone. I'm like, well, if it's got to do with my child, I'm answering the phone. So if you let me go in the hallway, or I just sit right here and talk. And so she wrote me up, and then they just said that you no longer is a Salisbury High student, and told me not to never come back.
Oh, hold on. Let me get this correct. Your phone rang.
Mm-hmm.
You went to answer it. You explained to the teacher or
Yes.
whomever why you had to answer it.
And she wrote me up anyway and gave it to
The principal.
the principal. And they told me that I was no longer a Salisbury High student and never to come back. All because of her, I guess, having a bad day and wanted to take it out on somebody. But I sat there and told her that it was for my daughter. And ever since then, I'm like, okay, hopefully she's not going to be there another year. But she's still there, so.
Mine's like the little things. Like, let's check the roll. Okay, everybody's here. Or, let me grade those papers. No, I grade them some more never come. The personal touchy relationships, because I dealt with that a lot in my high school years. Not with
Explain that a little
me.
bit.
Like, a lot of teachers from my high school got arrested for relationships with the students. Like, and it was just little stuff, you know, because actions speak louder than words. And at the time, okay, even if I was wild or didn't care, I still don't want somebody that's going to be cool. I want, you know, it's like a balance. Like, your mother is your mother, not your friend kind of thing. I don't want somebody to be, oh, yeah, everybody's here. I want somebody that's going to teach me. I want a balanced relationship with, you know, and it wasn't.
Any bad things? On this side, any bad things happen or things that indicated that people didn't care or the teachers didn't care? That you can think of? If you can't, that's fine. Anybody else?
Continuous put down. And like she said, like, we walked into the gymnasium one day at Salisbury High, my first day, and like you found a teacher and a student having sex up in the auditorium, like, and it was crazy. Then we went to Henderson. She had just got there. She was a new teacher. She had just came that day. When I say we walked into the bathroom, she was giving one of the students oral sex, and they didn't even fire her or anything. She left. Like, they didn't even take out charge. They didn't take out time to investigate it or nothing. Like, she just left. After she did, she packed her stuff up because a whole bunch of students stole it. Like, you have so much to say about the students, so why not give some dirt on you? That's how we felt. And that's how, and she just left. They didn't do anything about it.
Okay, I just want to make sure we understand for the discussion. I want to make sure we heard clearly. You're saying that students at your school heard about an allegation, or are you saying that's something that you witnessed?
She was a teacher. She was new, and Miss Huckabee or something like that. It was something B. And it was a female's bathroom, and I walked into the female's bathroom, and it was a couple of us, because when you get breaks, you just got to hurry up and go at Henderson, or you will not get one. And we walked into the bathroom, and she was on a student, oral sex. And we all ran to the principal's office, and I was the quote-unquote lookout. So I was supposed to sit there and make sure she don't do nothing or change, or you feel what I'm saying, like. And she packed her little bags, and she walked down the steps by the cafeteria. She got in her little car, boom, and drove off. And nothing ever happened. And everything that happens at Henderson is always in the paper, and it never got in the paper. And nothing was never investigated.
Having said that, how do students determine, when you think about your relationships in school, how do students process what's right and what's wrong behavior by the adults? How do students determine what's right or wrong by adult behavior in a school?
I mean, certain stuff you just know is wrong. You know, like, like, let's go back to, like, a situation that she said. Like, okay, it was a teacher. He would pick, like, you know how you have, like, late study sessions in the classroom? Or he had a group of kids, or in the morning they would be there. But every time they would leave, he would hug their females down their back real slow. And everybody know, like, that ain't cool. But instead of students saying, oh, no, that ain't right, we gonna tell, certain female students, it's like, oh, I want to get in good with him like that. Just for a grade. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's wrong. When other students told, but they didn't investigate it until a year later.
Anybody else? How do students process what's right or what's wrong behavior by adults in a school?
I feel like you're reflecting back. Some people, the teachers always say things reflect back on parents, but your parents have taught you all they can teach you. It's up to you if you go out there and know what's right and what's wrong. Less like me saying, I'm going to kiss her. I know that's wrong, but I'm going to do it. I mean, I'm not going to do it though, but I'm going to say I'm going to do it just to fit in. Some people do it to fit in, but you know what's right and what's wrong. You're old enough to know. I can see if you're like 2, 5, 6, somewhere up in there. I can count y'all. But, you know, it's no doubt about it.
So am I learning that students do care how adults behave in school?
Yes, it has a positive reflection on you. If you treat us right, just like Miss Brady, like that's our teacher. If she treats us right, we treat her right. And how come we can come here and have a positive attitude and come here faithfully, but can't go to a regular high school? That should tell it right there. Why are we here and not in a regular high school?
That can we explore that a little bit more,
absolutely.
Mr. Mel?
Absolutely.
Somebody else talk about that. You're in a non-traditional program, receiving your GED. Has your behavior changed since those 9th and 10th grade years?
I can honestly say mine has. I didn't change a lot.
Well, let's go around. Okay, so let's start with you, Sasha. What is different here, if you don't mind, than your high school, for example? What's different?
The high school period in Atlanta is like a fashion show. It's like they all shoes and not really work. But as far as me changing, I feel like I changed when I had kids. And my priorities changed and just a lot changed. And I mean, as far as in school, public school, Atlanta didn't really have all of these altercations and stuff like that. But right now they're dealing with closing the schools. I feel like that's a bigger issue than what you guys got going on here. But as far as in changing, yeah, I've changed a lot.
Well, I would say I dropped out of school. I mean, it was me. I'm gonna just be honest, it was me. Because I was just the person that you did not want to meet. And I feel like in my life, people want goals, people want rules, but people also want respect. And if the difference there and here, like, if you don't scream at somebody, nobody's gonna scream at you. Miss Brady, she gonna talk to you like you got common sense. It's not no, oh, y'all this and that. You know, it's just different. It's like a, I don't know. It's just different.
Just different.
Yeah. Because I feel like everybody's searching for something.
But it's different.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that or disagree? Think back to that alternative school, correct? And what's different? Have you changed?
Yes, I've changed dramatically. At Henderson, I only felt like one teacher was teaching me, so I go to her class, okay, and then I'm leaving school. Not coming to school. I said, okay, it's getting boring by the day. So I just quit going, got pregnant, and dropped out. So I came over here. I feel like it's different because it's not as long. We come in for 3 hours, Monday through Thursday. I can do that. We come in, do your work, time flies. You have a teacher that's actually teaching you, actually taking the time to teach you step by step what you need to do over here. So that's why I feel like it's different from over there than over here. It's better over here.
I feel like over here it's more of like a comfortable environment, and the people that you're around different people, different age groups, and you're not just doing schoolwork, you're training, you're branching out, meeting new different people. So I feel like this is better.
And we also have an older teacher.
Yes.
We actually have a teacher that knows what things that she went through. You know, she's going to teach us, oh, this is the way that I learned, so this is the way I'm going to teach you. And it's not, well, it's only one way to do it. I done had plenty of times Miss Brady tell me to go to the board. The way I see it in the book is not the way she's going to teach me, you know? And I like that because I actually understand it better. I never understood math. Now I go home and I do my little math homework faithfully. And I bring it in. I might have a couple wrong, but she'll let me know, look, before I check this, I see that they wrong, so you're going to go to the board, you're going to do it, and then you're going to go back to your desk and do it the way that I showed you. Then we work from there. And I like that because it actually shows me that she cares about my education. Not only does she care about her job, and I like the way she operates, and you know, with the class and everything.
Could you elaborate quickly why, if it's true that you didn't produce math before you got here, what is the difference? Why are you now going home doing math and feeling
Because
good about it?
when I was at Salisbury, like I said, I always got kicked out of my math class. I come in there that morning. That was my first class. Of course, kids gonna get breakfast. That's if you're a car rider and you missed breakfast. I had to get my daughter ready, so I always come, you know, first block late. So I go get me something to eat, and he never took the time to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna still teach you this, and I want you to know. It was just that if you come in late, you go sit in the hallway or you go to the office, or why did you come anyway? He never sat down and taught me how to do the formulas, the fractions, the decimals. Now I can do the fractions, the decimals, and all of that, you know. And it's easier because she actually teaches us an easier way to do it, and she also gives us papers that show us how to do it if we still don't understand it.
Listen, all right, we're gonna wrap it up. I can honestly tell you, wow. I mean, wow.
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 That's all I can say. What you all just gave to these people, it's invaluable. I don't even think they're ready for it for real, Barbs. I mean, seriously, I don't think they're ready for this. I can honestly tell you all,
My goodness.
we have an agenda set up, and you all have covered every aspect of that agenda that we're going to work with these teachers and administrators. But you all have touched on every single topic, and you've done it absolutely well. I mean, all I can say is wow. I mean, I wanted to really respond so bad to some of the things you all were saying, man. You all got powerful testimonies. Not only that, the power that you all have within you. What you all just told me is no matter what everything else happened to you, they couldn't distinguish that light in you all. You all still got a fire under you that I agree with Barks. There's so much potential in this room. You all can do a whole lot. Because the stuff that you all are telling me that you all have gone through has broken many other people. And y'all spirits are not broken. You all are prepared. You all are ready. And what they just gave to you, I mean, that's got to be the best feeling in the world for a teacher.
That's right.
Is to hear what your students have just said about you. Seriously. All I can say is, wow, I wasn't even expecting.
Well, and see, Melvin, I knew we could have gone anywhere across the state.
Yes. Wow.
But I knew my ladies in Salisbury would bring it to me exactly raw and real. And you know, I'm big on making people pay you for your pain. You make people pay you for your pain. I'm going to tell you, I mean, I halfway want to cry. I halfway want to jump up and down, which y'all know is nothing for me anyway. I mean, I'm about to do it. But see, I want you to remember this experience. Because here's what's going to happen. The power of what you have just done There's going to be some educators in Wilmington that's going to see this. And watch what I tell you. I don't know who they're going to be. I don't know what county they're going to be from. But somebody is going to want to talk to you more.
I think so.
What you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think this is going to totally change our workshop.
Yeah.
Seriously. Because we could go up, and we have gone up, and we've talked to probably our audience. We've probably seen some of these people before in other trainings. But there's nothing that we can say that can even compare to what you all just gave on this video. I mean, if this don't change them, nothing will change them. And that's what I do understand. If this doesn't change how they view their relationships in their schools, nothing will change that.
Right.
Because this was raw, this was uncut. You all weren't trying to bash anybody. That was the beauty of it. I mean, there was no bashing.
Just told the truth.
This was telling true, honest, raw truth. And that's what we need. And it speaks to the core of what our education system is about, and it's relationships. How do you get students to do what they need to do? And what you all are saying is get to know us, understanding.
I heard patience
a lot. Oh my God.
I heard, and let me tell you something. Folks, they do, cause I'm serious, sweetie. They do these type of sessions, okay? They do it all across the nation. We've been around some of this stuff. I have not seen a group of students articulate this well ever in my career. And what I want you to do, I want you to remember what happened today. And I want you to induce and harness new motivation, new skill set to live your dream. See, most people would have caved in by now, Brother Mel. I mean, you articulated, you saw something go down in a cafeteria. You went and remembered a trusted adult getting charged with a sexual offense. You've been judged because you had a kid in your high school career, and all of that. Life can allow you to still live your dreams. I'm going to tell you something. We're going to do something for you six, okay? I don't know exactly what we're going to do yet, okay? But we're going to do something, okay? Okay? All right? Brother Melvin, close us out quickly, please.
Well, no, we're going to wrap up. I
Okay.
mean, again, I can't thank you all enough for the information that you all have given us, but more importantly, that you've given to these administrators and teachers that we're going to be training in June. We're going to get a copy. Our producer is going to get this, edit the tape, and he's going to give us a final product, and we're going to give it back to you all so you all can see it, and you can have a copy for yourselves. But more importantly, like I said, what you all need to feel comfortable with is that this information is going, and you all will have a voice in June at this conference, huge conference, state conference. You all will be there with us, and this time you all will be at the table as we discuss how do we make things better in the school process. Okay? Again, ladies, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good job. Powerful stuff. Woo! Powerful stuff. I tell you what, Salisbury better watch out. Because y'all are some powerful women, man. For real. You
Ladies,
got to
go
stay
do
focused.
it. Ladies, go do it.
Stay focused.
Live that dream. Thank you so much, Miss Brady. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Students, take a break. You deserve it.